The film in a violent nature takes us into the remote wilderness, where isolation, fear, and primal instincts collide. It's a suspenseful thriller that gradually builds tension, focusing on a family torn apart by inner demons and external threats lurking just beyond the forest's edge. Setting the scene, the story begins with a family retreating to a secluded cabin deep in the wilderness. They're looking for a fresh start, far away from the chaos of their lives in the city. However, from the very beginning, it's clear that the serenity of nature is deceptive, hiding something far more sinister. The setting itself plays a significant role, with the vast, untamed forest symbolizing both freedom and danger. The silence in the air grows unnerving, hinting at the lurking threats the family doesn't yet see. Introducing the family consists of two parents, Scott and Laura, and their teenage daughter, Emily. Scott, the father, is a former survivalist, and though he projects calm confidence, it's clear he's wrestling with a dark past. Laura, his wife, is visibly on edge, and her relationship with Scott is strained, though they are determined to make the best of this retreat. Emily, quiet and introspective, seems to have a mysterious connection with nature itself, spending her days wandering the woods and observing the wildlife around a cabin. There's an eerie calmness to the family dynamic. The tension between Scott and Laura slowly simmers, creating an uncomfortable atmosphere that keeps you on edge. They're trying to patch up their relationship, but something about the cabin and the surrounding woods starts to bring out their worst fears. Emily's distant behavior only adds to the sense that something is wrong. The threat emerges. It doesn't take long before things start going awry. Strange noises echo through the forest at night, and Scott feels they're being watched. One night, Scott ventures outside after hearing unsettling sounds, only to return rattled. He claims to have seen someone or something moving in the shadows. At first, Laura dismisses his fears, believing it to be his paranoia stemming from past trauma. But soon, they both realize that they are not alone. In a chilling scene, Emily vanishes into the woods, only to return hours later, unharmed but strangely calm. She refuses to explain where she went or why, and the mystery of her disappearance hangs heavy over the family. Scott becomes increasingly agitated, convinced that someone or something is stalking them. Laura tries to keep the peace, but her own anxieties begin to surface, especially when she starts seeing strange symbols carved into the trees around their cabin. The supernatural element. As the story unfolds, it becomes clear that the forest is more than just a backdrop. It's alive with something ancient and violent. The carvings in the trees suggest some kind of ritualistic practice, and soon Scott and Laura find themselves entangled in a nightmare they can't escape. They begin to experience disturbing visions, as if the very forest is trying to communicate with them, or worse, drive them apart. Emily's connection to these forces grows stronger. She becomes increasingly distant from her parents, speaking cryptically about the true nature of the woods. Her behavior turns erratic, and at times, it feels as though she is no longer herself but rather a vessel for the dark energy in the forest. Survival of the fittest. The tension finally snaps when an unseen predator begins hunting them. Scott's survivalist skills are put to the test as he tries to protect his family, but it becomes evident that whatever is after them is not human. They're forced to flee into the wilderness, but the forest is unforgiving, and its supernatural presence grows stronger with every step. The stakes rise as Scott, Laura, and Emily must confront not only the physical threats of the wilderness, but also their own inner turmoil. Scott's past mistakes come to light, revealing his deep-rooted guilt. Laura's emotional breakdown leaves her vulnerable, and Emily's eerie calmness becomes more unnerving as she seems to embrace the violence surrounding them. The final showdown in the film's climax, the family is pushed to the brink of madness. They realize they must fight not just for survival, but for their humanity. As the supernatural force closes in, Scott and Laura are faced with a choice: succumb to the violent nature of the woods or find a way to escape its grasp. The final scenes are a harrowing test of willpower and trust. Scott and Laura are forced to confront their deepest fears and darkest secrets. The force haunting them is revealed as a manifestation of the violence and trauma they both tried to bury. Emily, now seemingly consumed by the forest's power, becomes a catalyst for the family's ultimate reckoning. In a violent, bloody confrontation, the family's fate is sealed. The final moments of the film leave viewers questioning what is real and what is a manifestation of their inner demons. Did the forest truly possess supernatural powers, or was the real threat the darkness lurking within the family all along?